joining us. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you.
And
yes, we do.
Charlie does too.
So does Charlie.
Even though he's got something he's sniffing in the air.
What you're looking at.
Well, we are rounding the corner on our campground reviews for 2021, and we're really excited. We've been excited for all of them because we know as full-time RVers that have a big rig, that being able to kind of get an understanding of these places.
Yeah, how to get into them,
Yeah.
how to get to them, how to get out of them. I mean, all of it.
Seriously.
I mean, we plan our route to get out even. So
Yeah.
I think we've talked about that before. So yeah, it's important.
Yeah, and when we did our research, we just didn't find a whole lot about this type of subject matter in terms of, is it big rig friendly and how do you navigate in and what are some things to look out for? So that's our service to the community, is to help you find ways to navigate your big rig around so that you can have more confidence.
Exactly.
Yeah. So today, part of our big rig friendly campground review list is our review of the Portal RV Resort in Moab, Utah.
Yes.
Yeah. We were there from October 23rd through November 28th, so basically a month.
Yeah, we were there a little over a month or just under a month. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were there about a month.
Yeah. Yeah. And some nearby attractions, and this is something you're going to hear a few times in this. Was it a mile?
Yeah, about a mile.
Gosh, from Arches National Park. I mean, Moab's not that big, but just the fact that you can just like turn out the driveway, turn left, and get to Arches National Park so quickly, that was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We did a tasting. I forget the name of that winery. I mean, I'll have to put that in. We'll have to put that as a comment on the screen. But remember when we did the wine tasting with Judy and Stephanie?
Oh yeah.
So we did a tasting.
Yeah, we went on the other side of town
Yeah.
from where the campground is located. And
Yeah.
found a wine place there. That was nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
We really enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah,
Cold. It was
Yeah.
cool.
Well, yeah.
But,
That time of year, it's crispy.
Yeah, it's crispy.
in Moab, yeah. There's rock climbing in the area. And, we didn't do that, just so you know. But we did.
Just to be clear. We saw a lot of it, though.
Yeah, we did. And it was actually interesting. We turned down this road, Potash Road, and we were like, wow, what is all this over here? So we'll put some photos of that. It was
there's a number of places to climb in the area, but we really just stumbled onto this road.
Yeah.
A beautiful drive.
Yeah.
And it was a climbing situation.
Yeah. It was pretty serious.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to go pretty slowly past all these areas because people were just climbing right to the right of the road. And as I mentioned, we were there in the, October, November. Actually, we were there till December. We left there in December heading into San Diego. So I don't know why I have this date here, but we were there from
just past Thanksgiving.
Just past Thanksgiving.
End of October to just past Thanksgiving.
Yeah. And something to note about that time of year in Moab is it is cold.
It is.
It's super cold.
Very, very cold. It was beautiful during the day.
Beautiful.
I mean, daytime highs were fantastic.
Yeah.
But it was getting crispy at night.
Yeah, super crispy. Yeah. So hookups, they did have full hookups, and we were in two different spots in the park, and both places had full water, power, and sewer.
Yeah. And the reason why we moved, just to spend just a second on that, was
Yes.
we got into a spot, and it was not a concrete pad. It was basically gravel.
Yeah.
And it just happened that was that the first night or second night we were there?
I think maybe
Might have been the second night we
Yeah.
were there. They got some pretty good rain,
Mm-hmm.
and we woke up the next morning, and basically our entire rig was surrounded by a moat. I mean, we were trying to walk Charlie, and the water was pretty much up to like his elbow here, halfway up his legs.
Is it up to your elbow?
So that just really wasn't going to work. I mean, it
Yeah.
was such a substantial amount of water.
Yeah.
That it just made it difficult for going in and out of the RV, and particularly to walk him,
Yeah.
because it was a lot of water.
Yeah.
So we asked if we could move.
Yeah.
And thankfully, within a couple of days, I think they let us move.
Yeah.
To another spot.
The interesting thing about this is the stark contrast in volume in these places at the time of year. So we're there kind of in the late fall and winter, and we did have the ability to change spots. Yeah. If we were there in the summertime, we would not have had that ability to change
And
spots.
even with it being as cold, just to touch on that for a second, is there were still quite a few people there.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah.
I mean, the good thing is it wasn't packed like you said, like the summertime might have been, but there were still quite a few people.
Yeah.
Coming in and coming out of that park.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Moab. If you've never been there before, it's just like an adult playground for people that like the outdoors. So I mean, there's hiking, there's climbing, there's ATV riding. There's, bring your toys. It's just all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So our next section is the gravel and concrete slab. And we had both, right? We had the concrete slab thing as our second place that we were in. And then we had the first spot, and they were really good about us.
Yeah, the second spot, the concrete slab, was really nice.
Yeah, it was very nice.
It was big.
Yeah.
Plenty of room for the RV and the truck.
Yeah.
It was really nice.
Yeah. Access and road issues. That's our next category. I don't remember what that road is that we came in off of.
I forget. It's the main road in and out of Moab.
Yeah.
I forget what the number is, but it's the main road. It can be busy.
It can be busy, but I would say that, whatever side you're coming from, it's pretty easy to see the sign, and it's pretty easy to come. It's a kind of a long entrance, like a long driveway after you turn off the road.
Once you turn off the main road, it's kind of a long entrance.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was pretty easy to get into.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say though that when you talk about lot spacing, and that's our next category, the first spot, as we mentioned, the gravel spot, that was not as wide as the second spot. The second spot was a premium spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a premium spot.
Yeah. So the regular spots, they're not horrible, but they weren't like excessively wide. It was just kind of regular West Coast standard, narrowish kind of spot.
This would have been probably the second spot was kind of West Coast ample.
Very much so.
That was a nice spot.
Yeah. I would say that sort of navigating through the park wasn't the easiest. It was a little tight. Like when you first come in and you got to turn that left and then go down by the rentals and come around. It's a little tight over there. Because remember, I had to get out and sort of spot the corners and stuff.
It's a little narrow.
It's a little narrow.
The roads in the park are actually a little narrow.
Yeah.
For the size of RVs that they can support.
Yeah. Yeah. Cell service. Do you remember any issues with cell phones?
No,
I don't either.
I think we were using our
we had our AT&T
I think
card.
we had our AT&T card at the time.
Yeah.
I don't remember there being any problems with it.
Yeah, and we have Verizon backup, so no issues there. The laundry facility, yes, they have a laundry facility, and you did the laundry.
And I was doing the laundry at this location.
And that's a point to note because I typically do the laundry. But in the previous location where we were in Durango, I broke my leg. So stay tuned for that video. So she was doing the laundry. And what would you say about facilities? I mean, I never even went in there. So I
they
have
were
no
nice.
idea.
I mean, they had several wash machines, several dryers, as I recall, and a coin machine in there.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. Actually, it was a nice. It wasn't a ton of machines, but it was adequate. I thought for our needs, and I felt like they were maintained well.
Okay, good. That's always important. And then showers. I did use those. I'd use Did you use the showers?
I know, I'm trying to think if I did. I don't think I did. I think I just stayed in the RV.
Okay.
But I know you did.
Yeah, because I could not shower. Because I was in crutches, so I could not be dealing with this little shower in here.
A little bit more room.
I needed a little bit more room to navigate around, and so I hobbled. No, I think you took me down.
Yeah, I drove
you
you down,
Yeah.
and then when you were done, came back and picked you up. And,
yeah.
But that worked out okay.
It did,
right?
and it was a really nice. Actually, I think I have a picture here that I'll share. It was actually a very nice. I did use the handicap stall. And so it was a single room that had a sink in it and the shower. I think there was a toilet in there too, I think. And I think the rest of them down the aisle there were just showers. So they didn't have like sinks and all that in it, but it did have showers. And they were in your own room, which was nice.
Yeah.
Very
you had
clean.
Your own section.
Yeah. Very clean. Except for there was a giant spider in mine, but which is a little horrifying. Me trying to with one leg and crutches. It was something, let me tell you what. So other amenities worth noting. They had a pool, but we didn't use the pool, did we?
We did not use the pool, but the pool was in the owner's section, and so there was some sort of...
There was two pools. The one in the section where we were, we couldn't use it because it was closed down.
They were... Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
They had the one in the owner's section, and then they had the one in the renters, I guess, section.
Yeah.
But they were doing some work on it.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think they closed it for the season.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think they might have closed it for the season, but they do have a pool.
Yeah. Was there a jacuzzi? There was a jacuzzi, too,
I think there was a jacuzzi there as well.
Yeah. They had a nice, we'll get to that in a second. And then, so we bring up this concept of rentals because in this park you have the RV slots, the regular slots, and then you have the premium slots. But then there were those slots that had those little cabana things next to them. And then you had the actual things that look like townhouses. So there
Yeah,
was a lot going on
yeah,
here.
there was a mixture of sites at this place, and some of them, like you're saying, were townhomes, really nice looking townhomes that I presume the owners would allow you to rent when they weren't there. And then they had different categories, I think, of RV spots.
Yeah.
Some, owned that
Yeah.
you could rent from the owner, and some, I think, just rentals, I think, just from the campground.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you ride into this park, it's just a really nice park. It's nicely laid out. Like I said, it's a little tight getting around some of those corners, but generally the park has a nice appeal to it. Pet friendly. It was definitely pet friendly. They had a gated dog area, which was very nice, with 2 entrances and, poop bags throughout the park. And so that was all very nice. And I think, Charlie, you really enjoyed that, didn't you? Yes, you did, didn't you? Good boy. Okay. Good management. I thought it was easy to book. And then when we wanted to move out of the moat and move into the other area, they were fine to let us do that. No problem there. The property changed hands while we were there, though. I mean, how did you find out about that?
I don't remember if I think the office manager at the time, Jill, might have mentioned it. I can't remember. Somebody mentioned it. I don't. Maybe Judy and Stephanie mentioned. I don't remember. But somehow we found out that that the owner had the management had changed.
Yeah. So what we're talking about, as with all of our videos, is our experience while we were there. I mean, when you go, your mileage is going to vary, right? So definitely do your research.
And I mean, it was completely transparent to us.
Oh,
I
sure.
mean, nothing
it's not like anybody was hiding anything.
Not
that's
that,
for sure.
Yeah, and it didn't affect our stay at all.
No, not at all.
It didn't affect our stay, not at all. So, we just changed management.
Yep. Let's see, grocery nearby. No Instacart, but they did have nearby grocery. They had City Market, and we'll show a little photo of me tooling around in there. They had a great butcher called Ye Old Geezer Meat Shop. I thought it was a great place, so that was a great butcher. They had the Walker Drug Store, which was a giant store.
Yeah, it was giant. It had all kinds of stuff in it.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah. So, crazy quick story. So, I'm hobbling through this Walker Drug Store with my crutches, and they're not adjusted correctly. I thought they were adjusted correctly because when I was at the hospital, she's like, "This is good for your height." And so the guy that's working at the store, I don't know if he's Mr. Walker, what he was, but he's like, "Those crutches don't quite look right," and so he adjusted them for me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what a relief!" Because I was like all hobbled over. It's crazy. There was another store called Moonflower. I won't go into all the details about the history of that store, but that was a great health food store, and I really liked it. They had some really nice, sometimes it's really hard for me to find certain products in certain stores, and so the combination of City Market and Moonflower was great.
And did you write down the propane?
That's next.
Oh.
Yeah, so nearby things like Camping World, Ace Hardware, Harbor Freight, True Value.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, we didn't have those things, although you could probably find various things in that Walker Drug Store. So, wait, there was something next to. There was the Walker Drug Store, and there was something next to it.
I think it
was True Value. That's right. That's right. Yeah. But yeah, you said it was City Farm.
I think it was City Farm. Yeah, that's where we got the propane from.
Yeah,
and they had a number of other kind of farm-related things, but they carried RV items as well.
Yeah, it was like a feed shop, wasn't it? Kind
of like a feed shop. But then, like you said, their True Value was right next door, because I think I went in there and I bought a couple of things. I think our water regulator went out while we were there. So I went into True Value and was able to buy a water regulator and some other supplies. So yeah, nice. I mean, to me, there was plenty of shopping, to support, groceries and
everything
and supplies there, aside from the normal kind of Amazon shopping and that type of stuff.
Yeah, and on that note, the next one is mail delivery service. So yeah, we didn't have any. I mean, let's talk about mail delivery service, right? So we'll put a video here or in the link or somewhere about our video on mail service. But generally, we're having things shipped from Amazon, or we're having our mailbox that's home based in San Diego. That's packaged up and shipped to us. So typically, when we talk about this mail service, we're talking about the carriers. So whether it's UPS, FedEx, or who's the other? UPS and FedEx?
USPS?
Sometimes USPS, but if it's packages, not like letters. So whenever we talk about mail service, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the carriers and packages, because most places don't have any problem with you getting packages. Regular mail, that's a different story. You'd have to check with them for that.
But they had no problem taking the mail.
No
I think
problem.
that was the point. They had an actual inside office
Yep.
that they would take the mail. And when I'd go down there to pick it up, if it was big, it might not be actually back in that room. If it was a large thing, because I think we got our antenna, our telescoping antenna pole, I think was delivered there. So that came in a large box.
Yeah.
But they had no problem taking the mail.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Special moments. We had a number of special moments here. Yeah. Yeah. One of them was Hell's Revenge. If you've never been on Hell's Revenge, that is a treat. It's surprising that it's named Hell's Revenge and it's a treat. A little oxymoron there, but it was a Hummer ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of an open top sort of Hummer.
Yeah.
Ride.
Yeah.
That, you go all over the slick rock of Moab.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
That was real fun. And that was
Kind of
Judy
cool.
and Stephanie invited us to do that. And it was a great treat from them. And we met their friend, Levine. Yeah. Yeah. We met her and it was, and her, Judy's son was there. It was a very nice event. And it was so funny because when they first asked us about it, they're like, "Are you sitting down? We want to invite you to this thing," but they know I'm terrified of heights, so they're like, "We just want to see if you want to do this." So it was very
we
nice.
did a little research,
yes,
before we gave them a commitment.
yes, and I'm glad we did it. It was fantastic.
No, I am too. I'm glad we did.
And just such a different thing because we had already been on the Jeep ride on Imogene Pass in a regular Jeep,
yes,
and then this was in a Hummer, and you really can tell the difference between the way those things handle. That Hummer is like kind of low to the ground and does all kind of fancy stuff. Dinner at Sunset Grill. You and I had dinner at Sunset Grill.
We went up to Sunset Grill. Very nice. That overlooks Moab up on the hill.
It's lovely.
It's very nice. And they have shuttle service, so they come down and pick you up. So that was really nice. Because it's the parking up there's
it's not a lot.
Not a lot, and not great for a dually.
Yeah, the size of our truck. Yeah. And then we had 2 Thanksgiving dinners. We had one outside in 27 degrees with Judy and Stephanie and her son and his friend, and that was lovely.
And we had a great time.
That was lovely.
Cold,
it was cold.
It was cold.
Yeah.
We started while the sun was still up, but by the time we all kind of called it an evening, it was I think it was 27 degrees outside.
Doodle.
So it was cold.
Yeah. And then we had the other indoor Thanksgiving with Judy and Stephanie, which was very lovely.
Their son had left.
He
had left with his friend, and so we did another one inside.
Yeah.
So that was nice.
Very nice. So top 3, bottom 3.
Well, the top was the second spot. The spot on the concrete slab. It took us a while to get into that spot. And I don't know if we were going to talk about that anywhere. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it was a back end spot. Yeah. And it was just, it was the first spot I think I had to back in with your leg being in the situation you were in. Right? Yeah.
So I'm usually the outside
she's
spotter.
Usually my spotter
with the walkie-talkie, and we have a language of backing in, and so that was the first time doing that. The other thing I'll say is that this would have been fine for a Class A, because a Class A is like backing up a big car, right? So the way you're turning the wheel is what you expect, so on and so forth. And you may not need as much clearance out in front. Backing in 66 feet of a fifth wheel toy hauler, that's a totally different story on a triple axle. Very different story.
Yeah, and we had the dog run that we talked about earlier was right in front of the spot, so it was a little tight, and thankfully Judy and Stephanie were there.
Oh my goodness!
Helped. They helped in so many ways. Which I think is that one of our that's one of our top. Yep. Top 3 is
Judy and Stephanie being there and being to the rescue.
Yeah, being to the rescue. So it was just great. Again, we've mentioned them a couple of times in our videos, and anytime we have an opportunity to cross paths with them, it's always a treat.
Yeah. And we'll put a link to their channel. They're In the Moment Travels, and so we'll put a link to their videos and travel below. And then other one.
And then the other one that we already mentioned as well was just being so close to Arches National Park.
Yeah.
I mean, we literally could get off from work, or we could just run over there
and just have lunch or
happy hour. We did that. We went over there one morning and took breakfast
and
just ran over there because it was just so close.
Yeah.
There was the one day that it was crowded.
Yeah.
And so we didn't wait. So we left.
That's how we got to Potash Road.
But then we came back and the line was gone.
It's crazy.
So it just was so nice being that close.
We've never been at a campground that's that close to the national park, have we?
No. No.
Yeah.
Because of course we can't camp in the national parks. So we're usually looking for spaces close by.
Yeah.
And we've never been at one that was this close. We're usually 30 minutes to an hour away.
Easily. So this was a real treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bottom 3.
I think bottom 3, we mentioned it already. Just the roads within the campground were a little tight, especially for large RVs.
Mm-hmm.
We were there in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
It's a trade-off.
Yeah.
It was cold.
Yeah.
But I would take this time of year
over
summertime.
Oh my
with
gosh.
The crowds and the heat anytime.
You should see the brochure for Arches. So in the brochure for Arches, they basically say prepare for the crowds, and you should see the photos that they have in the brochure of these crazy crowds. It's like, I wouldn't even want to be.
So we put it in a kind of our bottom 3, but that's really no slight to the park or anything.
No.
It was cold. So
Yeah.
we were pulling out our winter clothes, because I went out a couple times with Judy and Stephanie to do night shooting. We had to bundle up.
Is this the thing where you guys did the stargazing?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did the stargazing activity.
Yeah.
So you just had to really, just break out your winter clothes.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was the second spot that we moved to. Although we did love that spot, it didn't have any shade.
Yeah.
But again, because it wasn't really hot
Mm-hmm.
while we were there,
Yeah.
I don't really remember it being really very hot.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're there in the wintertime, the shade thing is probably not going to be a thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. There was a couple of restaurants that we went to that we really loved. We just want to mention those really quickly. But there was a Sweet Cravings Bistro.
Yeah, baked. Yeah, there was a sandwich there called the Hangry.
It was awesome. We hit that pretty hard.
We hit it pretty hard.
We'll put a link to that below. The Antica Forma Pizzeria was yummy.
Good.
And then
we found a Fiesta Mexicana for
Yep.
Mexican food, which is good.
Yeah.
And then the Thai Bella restaurant, right there. None of all these were right in
on the main drag.
Made on the main drag. None of them were very far away from the campground.
Yeah. Yeah. So what would you say? Would we give this portal a thumbs up?
What's our rating?
And a paw up. What do you think, Boogie? What do you think, huh?
We want to do thumbs first?
Let's do a thumbs up. Yeah.
So we definitely give it a thumbs up.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
we would definitely go back.
Charlie's going to give it a paw up.
He really liked his little doggy area. He's like, I'm happy.
So yeah, we really like this park.
Yeah.
So we would definitely recommend it.
Yeah, and we would recommend it, frankly, at the time of year that we went. Even though it's a little chilly, it's so worth it because it's just Arches is just your playground, and you don't have to deal with all the crazy crowds. So, yeah.
And there actually are other things around there. I mean, we're talking a lot about Arches, but there's
other
state
stuff.
Park.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We went to that too.
We did.
Oh,
we went there.
Yeah,
I mean, there's other things to do. We just were so taken by the fact that we were so close to Arches, but.
So glad you brought up Dead Horse.
Dead Horse State Park was fantastic.
That's lovely. Yeah.
And I went over there a couple times because
Yes.
I went with you and I went.
Yeah.
And then I went with Judy and Stephanie when we did the astronomy thing.
Lovely.
Just kind of outside of that area.
Yeah.
So there's other stuff to do in the area.
Yeah.
It's just Arches is just so close.
It's so close, and you just want to kind of take that in. So, have you been to this park before? I wonder, is it even still called Portal RV?
Yeah, I don't know if they changed the name of it, but
yeah.
I don't know. And it's actually right next to an RV park. Remember that?
I know.
I forget what the other name was, but it's right next to an RV park.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you've been there, let us know.
Yeah, we had a little bit of technical difficulty, so we're just going to pick up where we left off.
Which was basically, we were asking, has anybody ever stayed at the Portal RV park?
Yeah.
We would love to hear if this is someplace you've stayed, or even other places in the area, right? I mean,
we saw other campgrounds.
We did see other campgrounds. So if you stayed anywhere in Moab, let us know.
Yeah.
And if you like this content,
give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe,
hit the notify button,
share, all that good stuff.
All that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And so thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Yes. Bye-bye. Bye.